we trust, the people that we trust, that we know personally that have been there, they said that it was not an organic situation. It was purposeful. There were undercovers. There were people that were there that were purposely inciting violence. How much were they getting paid? Do they know who they were? Were they? Do they have connections to the Southern Poverty Law Center? Do they?
I mean, listen,
and who in Congress knew about it? So I know that we're sitting here talking about expelling members. We're sitting here talking about expelling members, and yet we do not have a bench to fill the seats that these people are trying to expel. And we're expelling people or attempting to expel people based off of allegations and not proof.
Yes.
So you're using allegations and terrible reporting by supposed journalists who apparently have personal vendettas because they didn't get to go out on a date with a certain somebody, because I mean, I'm just gonna leave that alone. But
she's right though.
I'm serious.
You're right.
What
you're right.
Allegations do not mean that you are guilty. That's not a conviction.
Right.
But when you have, what's her name from South Carolina?
Nancy Mace.
No, SC, the lady that just resigned.
Oh,
I can't remember her name right now. Yes, McCormick.
She's Florida 20.
Yeah, she is Florida because Stubby.
We are very ashamed of her, by the way.
Very much so.
South Carolina.
She's a Democrat. So what do you expect? I mean, a lot of them have been guilty of fraud the last couple of years, this last year.
Wow.
Bringing it forward using COVID funds to pay for certain things.
That's why they had
BLM,
why they had to kill off our baby boomers. They had to get... They didn't care about, really giving you guys the treatment you needed. They cared about, go ahead.
What are their connections to the SPLC? Right? That's my question. And we're sitting here, and again, we're sitting here talking about expelling members. Which members had or knew about the SPLC?
Because what did we find out about Minnesota? The fraud that went on there, the government representatives, we were in on it. That's even what they pled. That's what these Somalians pled in their court case. They're like, but the state representatives were behind it. That doesn't matter. It does matter, but it doesn't matter when it comes to you doing it. It's sad, Allie. And I want to say one thing. So the Southern Poverty Law Group, the left is incapable of a brand new idea. Don't ever think that they get a new playbook. It's been the same since Saul Alinsky. It's never, they're incapable of a bright idea. So if you think about it, I was joking about Jesse Smollett.
But really.
But if you think about it, this is just that exacerbated.
It's all over again.
It happened with BLM during the Summer of Love. And what did we find out? It's happening with SPLC. This is going to be the playbook, which is why I'm so grateful to an administration that says, you know what, we're going to flag this. We're going to put J.D. Vance at the head of a task force for the next 3 years that's going to do nothing but look at waste, theft, fraud, and this kind of abuse, because I think USAID was just the first string. You ever have that sweater that you're like, don't pull that string,
pull on,
because in 2 weeks I'm not gonna have a sweater.
Right.
USAID was the first thread.
Yep, and this is it. I'm excited about this. I'm so glad that we finally have justice. I mean, even Kevin Smith, one of our close friends from New York, has been one of the victims of SPLC. They literally put up hundreds of thousands of dollars to shut him up because he was so effective at getting things done in New York City. KrisAnne Hall too. So they've come after a lot of the America First. I'm not even going to say MAGA. America First people that have been boots on ground, active, getting things done. So again, with my point of expelling members, like if we're going to actually expel members, we need to get to the ones that are complicit in actual fraud.
Yes, ma'am.
And waste and abuse of the American tax dollar.
Absolutely. Well, Allie, when we were watching this report and thinking about how did you start an investigation and pull the plug on it, this goes back to the Autopen administration. Listen, Biden was like Weekend at Bernie's. He was not there. He was propped up in a little Tykes Oval Office somewhere. We've got a really cute clip that our tech director found. I can't take credit for this, Zach. This is all you. Go ahead and roll clip.
Close your eyes. Remember what you saw on television. Remember seeing those neo-Nazis and Klansmen and white supremacists coming out of fields with lighted torches. And remember what the president said when asked?
And you had people, and I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis and the white nationalists, because they should be condemned totally.
Their veins bulging.
He said specifically that he was condemning them.
No, he did not. He said he walked out and he said, let's get this straight. The veins bulging on their, as they were screaming. Remember, just close your eyes and picture what it was. Their veins bulging. Their veins bulging. Nazi sympathizers carrying Nazi fags. Veins bulging. Their veins bulging. Veins bulging. Veins bulging. How are you, baby? How old are you? Their veins bulging. Their veins bulging. Bulging. Veins. Well, I'm sick and tired of smart guys. Their veins they're bulging. Their veins bulging. Their veins bulging. Veins is bulging. Bulging. Fewer. Have you ever heard this president say one negative thing about white supremacists? Have you ever heard it?
Racism is evil.
Damn it.
And those who cause violence in its name are criminals and thugs, including the KKK, neo-Nazis, white supremacists, and other hate groups that are repugnant to everything we hold dear as America.
Those incidents that took place were white nationals, the Aryan group, whatever, and others were. I mean, they used this to divide us and try to paint Trump and his administration as racist and us.
Right.
I mean,
so you know what this brings me back to? That older woman who was like, "You're voting against your own interests." And I was like, ma'am, you look like you're old enough to be around during the civil rights movement. Were you this active then, or were you silent?
What were you doing when Governor Wallace was trying, the Democrat was trying to block the schoolhouse doors?
Right. So like, I want to play this I want to just have this clip
like on a big screen,
play it
like on a big screen
everywhere. I need, yes. Just because it's like, it's mind boggling because we still have people here in Florida that are like, well, Byron Donalds isn't going to get elected because there's a bunch of white racist people here. We're
yeah.
Like, what?
Which opponent brought up that narrative? Because I can tell you which one.
I can tell you which one it is too. Like, what are we talking about? It's probably a Democrat, or it could be a Republican.
Listen, I'm not going to say that they aren't on our side too, because
just saying
we slap a few of them around.
It's crazy to me. Like I am so baffled that one, I can't even believe we even had Joe Biden as president. That was just a huge.
It feels like the biggest April Fools ever. Have you ever woken up and you're like, did that happen?
Our kid, like my great grandkids are gonna be like, Mom, was that a Simpsons episode? Nana. Abuelita, was that a Simpsons episode? I'd be like, baby, I don't even know.
No, it wasn't. We lived it, and it was really, yeah.
It was 97 years ago. It's just insane. Veins bulging. Okay, so look, I kind of want to know because what I'm saying is that
get the kids out of the room. Get the kids out of the room.
Go away. Not family friendly. Y'all know what y'all were thinking when he said that. Stop playing. Stop playing.
I was not. I was drinking my coffee.
Like we were the only ones. That is ridiculous. Okay, so my point is when you repeat something like this over and over again, you're playing a psychological game. So this is why the left has been so successful with their messaging because they understand the psychology behind the words that they use and how often they are used. It's just like marketing. So if you touch somebody, I don't want to say touch. Not like physically
not like in the Biden sniffs your baby kind of way.
Okay. But if you approach something 7 times or you see something 7 times, I don't know why 7 is the magic number, but 7 is the magic number. If you do it 7 times, it becomes like a habit. Like you pick it up and you retain it.
They say you have to touch a voter 7 times. Yeah.
In order for them to like 1, remember you, and 2, like be more open and apprehended to vote for you. So it's like that in everything when it comes to marketing. So when you see the groups of media using the same language like we did during COVID, I know we have so many of those clips. It's not even just COVID. It's with almost everything. It's like virus. One thing goes out and they all get the same.
Mockingbird.
That's exactly what it is.
Oh my God.
That's exactly what it is. They all get the same memo and it all goes out and they all say the same talking points and it's word for word. And that's how you know it's a psyop.
Yeah.
So you have to guard yourself from the psyop. And I was watching something, I think Senator Mike Lee said the left is a giant psyop.
Yes.
Because that's how they that's what they do. It's what they participate in.
So the narrative out there, if you know anybody locally who's running for office, and I say this just because I'm running for school board, I'm getting hammered by like 2 people that are like, oh, she was a member of Moms for Liberty, and they are
You're welcome.
The SPLC deems them a terrorist organization. This is going to be fun. This is going to be fun because are you kidding me? You're going to use the SPLC now as some type of metrics and stuff? Like when Allie said blue-haired liberals, are you okay right now?
Y'all are not okay. Y'all are not okay.
You just found out you're paying the KKK.
I'm going to laugh at you. I'm going to laugh at you in your face because I don't care. I don't care.
Wait till you find out the amount of money they're pouring into big pharma to trans your kids. It's pretty disgusting. All right. Speaking of medical freedom,
this is my favorite topic.
I mean, listen, Pete Hegseth is.
I thought I was like popping bottles for the SPLC when I found out, but this
roll clip,
fireworks,
roll clip.
Under the disastrous Biden administration, this Pentagon waged an unrelenting war on our warriors on many fronts, including when it came to denying them simple medical autonomy and the freedom to express their religious convictions. In other words, our men and women in uniform were forced to choose between their conscience and their country, even when those decisions posed no threat to our military readiness. You know what I'm talking about, what happened, COVID-19 and the vaccine. No more. That era of betrayal is over. Under President Trump, the War Department continues to take decisive action to once again restore freedom and strength to our joint force. We're seizing this moment to discard any absurd, overreaching mandates that only weaken our warfighting capabilities. In this case, this includes the universal flu vaccine and the mandate behind it. The notion that a flu vaccine must be mandatory for every service member everywhere in every circumstance at all times is just overly broad and not rational. Our new policy is simple. If you, an American warrior entrusted to defend this nation, believe that the flu vaccine is in your best interest, then you are free to take it. You should. But we will not force you because your body, your faith, and your convictions are not negotiable. Your health. It's common sense. It's the kind of common sense approach we're undertaking in this department. Rest assured that under President Trump, the War Department will always honor our brave warriors and do everything we can to restore the American people's trust in their military for generations to come. And that's why I'm proud to sign this new policy.
Thank God. Woo! Amen. I thank God bless Secretary Pete Hegseth because do you know the amount of okay, so I'm going to say this. Yes. I've had friends of mine and relatives that would go in, they would get the flu shot, whether it's outside of the military or required by the military. Right. And they were always sick within 5 to 7 days. Huh. Always. It never failed. I had a friend of mine who was a nurse. She had 3 kids. Every flu season, she was in there getting her kids the flu shot. And literally 5 to 7 days, all 3 of them are in the ER with either an upper respiratory infection or ear infections or some kind of like triple antibiotics, right? Yeah. The flu shot, guys, has a 90%, 95% failure rate.
Wow.
It has a 90 to 95% failure rate. That means it's literally only successful for like maybe 10%. And that's generous.
Allie, and this is brought to you by the same medical pharmaceutical industrial complex that thought 6 feet of separation was scientific. You know, I was reading Old Testament. Did you know that was an old Jewish Old Testament saying that if somebody had an unclean spirit, you were supposed to stand 6 feet apart? Like they didn't just pull this out of thin air. Nope. They were like, oh, we'll get the church to do it because we'll say that it's biblical. But this is crazy. This is absolutely insane and asinine. And this is the thing, guys, is like, where's the seditious 6? When they were talking about, oh, don't let the government tell you to do something that's against your oath.
Nancy Mace.
Where were they when they were lining up our men and women in the military to poke them with something they had no idea what was in it?
Nancy,
get her on the phone.
Nancy,
she probably home.
Hey, girl. I know you trying to expel Corey Mills, but the seditious 6 have largely, especially the general one, the guy that was in the military, man. He literally said that not to follow order, and that violates the UCMJ. I'm gonna need you, ma'am. Excuse me. Hello.
Did you go to voicemail? Was that voicemail?
This is the problem. I'm having a problem. No, but seriously, on another note, I think that what your point is correct is we used to force, right, we used to force these vaccines on our military. And then you would end up with people that would have adverse reactions to them. And then the military wouldn't cover it. It wouldn't be compensated, even though it was done while they were serving.
Mercy of a military industrial complex healthcare system that, I mean, good luck with that.
Worse.
Good luck with that.
Because I've literally had a child convulse after receiving a vaccine, and I asked them to put it in his medical records, and they're like, oh, we just don't do that. What do you mean you don't do that? He had a reaction.
And that's why VAERS, when you're talking about adverse effects, listen, people just stopped reporting to VAERS, and they tried to tell parents that they were crazy for even noticing these results in their children. You want to know why Moms for Liberty and Moms for America think what you want about the moms groups. We've got plenty, we've got ideas on both sides, but do you want to know why those form? Because you try to gaslight women and parents, not just women. You try to gaslight our own men and women who signed up to fight for this country, that somehow this was their due diligence and now they're sick and you can't even admit. Well, now they're admitting, obviously, but I still want to see heads roll, Fauci.
I had a friend of mine who ended up with they got the smallpox vaccine. His was it smallpox? I think it's the anthrax. I think it's the anthrax vaccine.
Oh,
so if you missed the anthrax vaccine that they had, which is not, I mean, it was crazy. You had to go through like 3 or 4 different vaccination schedules, right? Like you would take one and then you'd get like a booster and then you get like a booster and you'd have to do it like 4 or 5 times. If you missed one, you would have to start all the way over. It was insane. So they're over vaccinating, right? They're not giving informed consent. They're not telling any of the members what is in any of these, what the ingredients are.
It's like you line up and they're just.
But that's during boot.
Yeah.
That's during boot camp. But when you're already serving, you have these appointments that you go to and it's like you have to do your checkup, or they'll call you, hey, did you get your flu shot? If you don't get your flu shot, you get written up for it.
Oh my gosh.
Or you could lose money for it, or you could lose time.
One is a military that cannot think for themselves or have a conscious objection. Did we go through this?
Girl.
We already went through this.
Girl. So she ended up the spouse ended up with shingles because of one of the vaccines that was given. And they're not telling them like to be separate from your wife. Use a separate towel. Don't use the same washcloth. Don't sleep in the same bed. Don't sleep in the same room because they shed. So this is what the issue is. It's like you're not giving informed consent. You're not telling them if it's safe and effective really, because it's really not. It's like rushed through the process.
Right.
None of the vaccines on the market right now have been proven to be safe and effective.
No.
And so this is huge for Maha. And then for all of the moms out there, I like that you said this, is that moms, why do you think these moms groups have largely come about, is because one, the worst place to be is between a mother or a woman and the people she loves and cares about. I promise you, go find something safe to do, because you are in a very dangerous position to be in between a woman or a mother. And the people that she cares about, between a woman and her spouse and between a woman and her children. You are in a very dangerous spot. So I'm gonna need you to go find something safe to do. Go play with somebody else. You better go play with Jesus. Don't play with me. Pray for me. Don't play with me.
Yes.
Because my Father in heaven does not. He does not play about me.
Amen.
So this is and a lot of them, we were talking about this on David Pollock's space on Monday. So if you're not watching David Primetime on OAN, please do so. Go to the OAN app. It's $3 for the app.
Support strong,
but put in the promo code Primetime so that they know who you're going to support, right? Let OAN know that they made the right decision by choosing David Pollock. So we do this space on Mondays. On Mondays, we have Liberty Valkyrie. She's on, and she's the Maha mom, and she talks about things like this. She talks about all the things Maha. And we said this on the show on the space. It was like, all of our moms and our women that, yes, we're nagging, but we love you and we want you to be healthy. And the things that we are saying are coming to fruition to be proven true. So no one does more research than a concerned woman or a concerned mother.
Right.
Nobody.
Absolutely.
And so if you're not healthy in body, and healthy in mind, you can't fight for your country.
Right.
So we want you to be healthy in your mind and your body so you can fight for this nation. And that's exactly what Secretary Pete Hegseth is talking about. If we're going to want our warfighters to be capable of the things that they are supposed to be doing to defend this nation from the world, we need to make sure that we are of the utmost healthiest. And we can't do that by mandating something on a sovereign people. That's not how that works.
Well, I love that, Allie. And if you listen to the Secretary of War's words, if you think that the best choice for you is to get the flu vaccine,
then go do it.
Then do it. It's just like the whole mask thing. Nobody was telling you that you couldn't put 3 tube socks around your mouth if that's what you wanted to do. But to mandate it on people, to mandate an injection, to mandate pronoun usage, speech. This is where we draw the line. And I want to make sure you guys realize, as a woman, I like to be right, but in these situations, it's getting a little old. You told us you weren't telling boys they could be girls. And we found that to be not true. Yep. You told us that you weren't trying to teach DEI, didn't earn it in our public schools. Well, we found out that was true. You tried to tell us that, you're not anti-law enforcement. We turned out that was not true. You told us, no, there's no problem at the southern border. There's no human trafficking. There's no unaccompanied minors. That turned out to be that we were right. You told us about, run death is near, remdesivir, and how it really shut down organs. That's why nobody survived in COVID when they went to the hospital. Very few.
You told us that was a lie.
It was a lie.
It was true.
Turns out it was true. I mean, the things go on. And it's like, when you say it's the biggest psyop, here's why social media, it can be bad, I understand, but here's why social media and independent media matter so much. Nobody's paying for those lights except the out-of-pocket ladies. So we determine what we talk about. Red determines what we talk about. OAN can determine what they're going to talk about. You cannot go back to legacy media once you've seen the psyops that they, on both sides, carry out.
No, absolutely not. And I'm just so grateful that we have decided to do this. If you believe it works and you have faith in it, then go ahead and do it. Yep. That is how you create herd immunity. You don't create herd immunity falsely, artificially.
And speaking of immunity, let's do away with giving these companies blanket immunity.
Thank you.
If you're creating a product, thank you. But if it ends up harming people, then you should be liable for that. And I know my Reaganites are going to say, listen, this is why Reagan did this, because they couldn't get good, solid companies to come out and develop these things because there is a risk.
There were already, for ages, there has already been things that will help you if you continue to stay healthy, and take care of your body and eat good whole foods, not artificially flavored and artificially manufactured and
plastics.
3D plastic printed meats.
Oh my gosh! Don't come for my ribeye. I'm just saying. Yeah, between a woman and her ribeye. I was going to say a woman and her meat, but that would have been flipped by the Democrats.
You know what? That's what we're going to use when we go up there next. And we're going to sit in
DC.
Yes, we're going to be sitting in these congressional offices talking about don't come for my meat. Don't come for it.
Dirty caca.
It's crazy. No, but seriously.
And Allie, listen, this is the thing that we go back to. Like, again, if you want to talk about not giving immunity to these big pharma or companies, there's one word. Consent. You have to consent to be a part of a conversation. You have to consent to have sexual relations. You have to consent to be treated. You have to you have to provide consent for everything. Governed.
That part.
I mean, it's basic. It's this really weird document.
Common
the Constitution.
sense.
Well, guys, the sarcasm continues after this commercial break. You're going to need to get your Liberty cigars with promo code OpenMic because we still the same ladies. We'll be right back after this message.
From the heart of Marietta, Georgia, comes a tribute to the spirit of liberty. Liberty Cigars, where history meets craftsmanship. Each cigar tells a story. The Founders Collection honors the visionaries who shaped a nation. The President's House Collection celebrates the leaders who steered it. And the Naval Series salutes the heroes who defended it. Handcrafted with precision, each blend mirrors the essence of its namesake. From the boldness of George Washington to the elegance of Thomas Jefferson. Indulge in a moment of reflection. light a Liberty cigar and savor the legacy. Discover your story at libertycigars.com because every great nation deserves a great cigar. Liberty Cigars, smoke the history. And don't forget to use promo code OPENMIC for 10% off your order.
Welcome back to Out of Pocket Live with Allie and Michelle. Remember those two unhinged women from the open mic days? They're still here.
I promise you I'm not the same person 6 months ago. Look,
Fafo. Try us.
I'm gonna need you to go play with your kids.
Okay, I'm
playing with me.
I'm gonna
say that. There's a song out there, and I can't remember who says it. I'm gonna ask my friend. I cannot
ask my friend.
I cannot remember who says it, but it's in a rap song. He's like, I don't know why y'all keep playing with me. I'm gonna need you to go play with your kids. Stop playing with me. Go play with your kids.
Listen, I like it. Listen, what you guys cannot see off camera is that I think Allie's dog likes me more than he might. Or I'm the cool, when the cool aunt comes to visit.
Cool auntie.
I'm the cool, because he's always right by my feet. And he's like, maybe I just know that you need affection.
Oh, he's so cute.
So sweet. Allie, being in this industry where you have.
I need a pup cam.
You need a pup cam.
Super
Would
cute.
You like a pup cam? He's like, I don't work for free. I work for snacks. Me too. Thank you for the bacon earlier this morning.
Yes, the bacon was amazing.
So I get asked this a lot by people when I'm out not doing this, like just trying to be a regular person. And they say, aren't you afraid for your safety? Like with what some of you guys say and what you do. And it comes from a genuine place. I think you do this so much, and this is our weapon of choice that with the microphone, that we kind of don't see it that way. But first thing I want to do, guys,
the Lord told me not to fear, and I have full faith in the Lord, so I'm good.
Show's over. That's it. That's all we needed. Was that message loud enough? I can understand the concern.
Yes,
but when you have somebody like, first of all, pause. When Charlie Kirk was assassinated, that hit close to home.
I think we all of us that are in this space, whether we're content creators, whether we're influencers, that name, but whatever it is that we're doing in this political realm or in culture, we all said the same thing. They got one of us, and then they got the nicest one of us.
Yeah, you done pissed the rest of us thugs off. Like, I don't know what you're thinking. Like, and we used to joke. We would say if somebody tried to kidnap us, they'd get down the street and be like, "Take them back, man. Take them back. They're too loud." But he was the best one of us. And I'll be honest, I'm just going to share a little too much here to see what's taking place with what's coming against his wife, Erica Kirk. Think what you want about her. I had somebody the other day who said, just curious, what do you think about some of the Candace Owens and Erica Kirk? And I said, I stay out of it. I try not to feed the trolls unless they're in a school board room. And but I said, if your husband's head got shot off, I would like for you then to come tell me what the appropriate reaction is for that.
Right.
And I dearly mean that. But we're going to talk about our friend Nick Shirley and what he's been uncovering first in Minnesota.
Yep.
With the Leering Academy, because they couldn't spell learning correctly. Now in California,
get that T-shirt.
In California, it's not just listen. The things that are difficult are trying to comb through the governor's hair out there. That's very difficult because it's Aquanet shut, but also trying to get somebody to answer the doors at these hospice locations. Again, opening a hospice location storefront, and nobody's home, nobody's in the office, nobody's taking in new calls, nobody's taking in.
I could have my building have get in $19 million and nobody answers the phone.
Billions of dollars. Now, keep in mind, out in the parking lot, you've got homeless and addicts that are sleeping pit-popping tents in the parking lot and on the streets because they can't afford to live anywhere.
But your empty office building got $19 million. Okay.
Let's roll Nick Shirley. Go.
Here in California at this UPS store in San Diego, over 30 people are registered to vote as this is their primary residence. It's all right to have this as a location where you receive a ballot, but you can't have it as your primary residence. And all these people do right here. For instance, this lady right here, Gloria, she's 100 years old and she voted in the 2024 election. In fact, the large majority of these people voted in the 2024 election, and some of these people even have the exact same P.O. boxes. I don't think too many people can live inside of a P.O. box. And what's concerning about this is right now in Pollard Market, Gavin Newsom is also setting the stage to become the next Democrat nominee for the 2028 election. Meanwhile, there's massive voter fraud taking place. You actually don't even need an ID to vote here inside of California. And like I said, over 30 people are registered to vote inside of this UPS store alone. A little crazy.
That's wild. See, and y'all are mad about Doge. What? Can we bring Doge back, please? Because this is crazy. Bravo, Nick Shirley.
Elon. Yeah, well, and so
Nick Shirley needs a medal of like the Pulitzer Prize or something.
Yeah,
he needs the Medal of Freedom. He needs something.
That's
an office building named after him.
I love it. People are saying this kid in a sweatshirt is really like outperforming every major news organization.
He even has like some of the major like people on our side that have huge followings, like actually getting boots on the ground. And I'm like, about damn time.
And get out of your closet with your microphone.
Like, can you please get out your home studio and go do something? Thank you.
Well, so he has tackled, just for his short time in California, he's tackled the voter fraud.
We love you.
Exposing it
thank
there.
you.
But thank you. But seriously, like, lace up your shoes. And he's tackled the hospice fraud.
Yep.
And he's also tackling the amount of money that California has poured into a problem. This is going to sound familiar. Southern Poverty Law Center. Remember I said the left cannot come up with a brand new idea if it saved their life.
Mm-hmm.
He's also exposing the fraud with the homeless epidemic in California. This is what the left does so well. They create an epidemic. They don't fix the epidemic. They make you, the taxpayers, think you have to pay for the solution of the epidemic, and then they take the money that's supposed to fund the solution for the epidemic.
Wild, isn't it?
So they have lost so many millions of dollars, of taxpayer dollars. I will probably show this in tomorrow's clip, but towards trying to help this homeless situation. It's never gotten better. It's only gotten worse. And then when you see who ends up with a piece of the pie, it's like, my God, like, no wonder why we have fraud in this country.
Gavin Newsom's wife?
Lord, it ain't their winery. The only winery that stayed open in Northern California throughout COVID. Well, there might have been another one. Yeah, remember, we were all masked, sitting at home tattling. Well, I wasn't. Sitting at home tattling on your neighbor because they gave you money if you did.
Mm-hmm.
And tacos. Ask me how I know.
And French fries.
Yes.
If you were vaccinated.
Absolutely. But he's sipping wine, not 6 feet apart, not even 6 inches apart. Have you seen the Democrats, the way they, never mind.
They were all in Florida hanging out at our beaches while we had our friends being arrested at beaches because local counties decided they wanted to usurp usurp the American people's right to assemble freely on a beach in the sunshine.
You had AOC down here on the beach. I hope somebody disinfected the beaches after she was here. Okay, let's talk about some of the threats, though. Nick Shirley's come out very publicly to talk about the threats against him. This is why we got to keep him in our prayers. Take a listen.
Danger is real. Like, for instance, last time I was in California, a few trips back, people were trying to dox my location live. I was at a hotel, and people were up on Reddit group chats saying where I was staying. And it's happened a few times now, so it's like almost even dangerous for me to go stay at hotels because you can get doxxed really quick and people can find out where you're at. You get constant death threats from people. The fraudsters are angry. In fact, they're very angry. I've had death threats, and one of them was even very specific about the date. It's actually supposed to be coming up very soon, the date that they said they'd kill me. So that was interesting. And you just get all these death threats. You get doxing. But the majority of the public are very thankful. Like, when I'm out in public, so many people come up to me and say thank you. It's actually interesting, at Sacramento, when I was just there, so many people were saying thank you, but the people inside the building, they all hate me because I'm exposing their corruption. But the people love me.
Nick,
we love Nick Shirley, and Lord, we just pray a hedge of protection over him right now in Jesus' name. You let your angels guard him. from all the enemy's attacks, whether it's, in this realm or the next, Lord. It's just, we just protect him, please, in Jesus' name.
In Jesus' name.
Listen, like, he needs security. So, like, maybe there needs to be some kind of fund, or somebody that could do it, like, just because, right? Like, have some military friends, like, or ex-military, hang out with him and just be his bodyguards wherever he goes, because we can't lose another one of us. I mean, he honestly is doing an amazing job. He's doing the job of journalists that won't do it. He's doing the job of
belly of the whale, right?
Of government that won't do it. And so he took what Charlie Kirk has done. Lord, send me. What is that? Nehemiah. Lord, send me. Isaiah. Lord, send me. And he's out there doing it. And I truly believe he will be protected because he's following what he feels he's called to do.
Listen, as a Christian, there are two things that one thing that you should really fear, or that you should not have to fear, but that could take your life before it's time. And that is martyrdom.
Yeah.
There is no greater love than to lay your life down. And I'm not saying that anybody here or even Charlie wouldn't want to be with his family right now, but when you're a Bible-believing, faith-filled person, you may not be perfect, but one thing that you know is where you're going to go spend eternity. And so then you have to decide, just as we all did throughout COVID, what's my role going to be in that? Would I rather sit in my comfort, in my air condition, and, bow down to whatever the big bureaucracies or government say? Or would I rather get up and fight for what I believe in and fight for what I believe is right? Because the person next to you might not have the strength to fight in the same arena that you're in. You're called to pick up your cross and follow. And that's going to come with a little bit of pain, a little bit of sweat, and a little bit of tears.
And when they were building the wall, right, in the Bible, they had their swords ready.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
While they were building.
I got your 6.
Right. So we need to make sure that we have Nick Shirley 6, y'all.
Yes.
So pray for him. Right.
They're
and two, if you know he's coming to your area, support him, protect him.
Yes, absolutely. And guys, don't forget, out in California, you can still reach out to your representatives. They are trying to pass this Stop Nick Shirley Act, where they are shutting down. They want to shut down independent journalism, free speech.
It's the First Amendment. It's not even free speech. It's free press.
Oh, and the press is protected.
Right. The press is protected. And this is crazy. They're violating the Constitution while they sit there and say that President Trump he's going to dismantle democracy.
No, that's the left's job. And again, the left they can't come up with a new idea. This is no different than doxing his location is no different than when they doxed ICE agents' location. It'll be the same playbook time and time again.
Allie, game.
Can we get our feels a little bit? I like Dana Perino. She was the press secretary for Bush Jr.
Okay.
And this is when I first started watching the press secretaries, because she'll bite back every once in a while.
And
I thought, who's
I like
this?
the bite back.
I know. But she's writing a book, and she's laying it all out there, ladies. She's talking about all the things, here I'm chasing a really tough industry, very tough career. And then what comes knocking at her door? Love. Take a listen.
When I was 25, I had a big quarter life crisis. And I thought I'd picked the wrong career. I hadn't dated anyone in 2 years. And I remember a woman at my Bible study, the singles group, she said, well, remember what God says, fear not. The Lord has your name written on the palm of his hand. Just chill out, basically. 2 months later, I met Peter. And for a million reasons, meeting this guy on a plane, he was older than me. He lived in England. There's 100 reasons why it shouldn't have worked out. But a friend of mine said, don't give up on this opportunity to be loved. And I overcame my fear of saying goodbye to everything I knew here, moved there. And then at the time, I thought it was going to really hurt my career. Obviously, it didn't hurt my career. So choosing to be loved is not a career-limiting decision.
Everybody say amen.
This is beautiful. Amen. Well, we cannot wait to read it. And it's going to go #1, and it's going to be a film, and Greg won't be allowed anywhere near the set.
I cannot wait to read this.
Okay.
I'm interested because I think a lot of times with the feminist movement, they've made it seem like women cannot be loved if they're a boss. That you can only be a boss babe if you're single with no kids, no husband. But you got needs. So you need to be able to fulfill those needs. And how are you going to fulfill those needs? By being a hoochie scooch out and
that's somehow
everybody.
Yes, that
somehow is better than being loved truly and wholly by one person. and building a family, and it doesn't have to affect your job, but you have to have the right person. And that right person, I would much rather wait to be married to the right person than to be married to the wrong person for years.
Say that again.
Delay your blessing and anointing and purpose. If we are looking to be kingdom partners, right, to be kingdom builders, to further the kingdom of the Lord, we need to make sure that we are looking for kingdom partners. And you can't do that if you're rushing in. So ladies and gentlemen and boys, slow down.
Yeah. Ooh, Allie.
Slow down.
I heard it said too, like this, like, you know, in a rebuilding season, obviously did God even call you to that person? Did you ask? How many of us didn't come about our faith journey until we were well into marriage?
Right.
And even parenthood.
Right.
So you're at a different level where you're trying to make things, you're trying to force things and fix things. You're praying that God intercedes for your spouse when he's struggling with his will. Like that, God's not going to override somebody's will. And so you think, or some people turn and blame God. Like, why aren't you changing so-and-so? Or why aren't you helping our marriage? Well, God's in a covenant.
Like, how many red flags did I show you that you turned hot pink, ma'am?
He said, ma'am, they weren't hot pink. I know how much you like pink. And that was not a pink flag. That was a red one.
Like, you put white out over red. How did you do that? I'm sorry.
And I love this because this is so, and we've talked openly about this. This is the thing that, like, I almost buckled in and like fastened my seatbelt and said, committed to the fact that it was right when we started open mic. I was like, Allie, that's it. I like divorced, bad taste in my mouth about it. I'm done. I'm single. Like this is, I joked and said, I'm going to get cats. I might get Austin because he's a really cute puppy, and I baby alone. He's over by Ellie now.
He's not fixed. So we might have some options there.
And we're not transing
Don't
him.
come for me. Okay. Because I know a lot of people don't like breeders. Don't come for me.
You know what?
He's got papers.
You breed. Maybe he's got needs too.
And you sell your babies. It's called surrogacy. I said it.
Anyway,
I'm sorry.
And I was like, Allie, I think I'm done.
But you don't want dogs. I'm sorry. Keep going.
You know what? Keep going. I said, I think I'm done. And you said, I don't think you are. I think God's gonna bring somebody. Maybe he will look like somebody off of Yellowstone. Maybe not. I don't know. But I love that we can do that. We can encourage each other. You got to get good people in your circle. Keep your circle small, but you got to get good people in your circle that can tell you when you're not unlovable.
Yeah, you're not.
There's different seasons, and maybe the season right now. I said this the other day. I came home real late, and I was like, it's long days.
Yeah.
And unless you find somebody who can support you and really champion you and be a cheerleader for you and understands the calling on your life that God has and doesn't view that as a threat or a competition, you're better off to stay committed to God and just kind of a little bit in a peaceful, quiet place.
Right. Well, there's a couple things I want to say about that is one, when you go through, first, when you go through trauma as a child or as an adult, you kind of feel like it sticks with you. Right. And whatever happens, whatever words were said to you, they stick and they stay in your brain, which is why it's important for you to make sure you don't accept what everybody says to you, because they're planting seeds in your soil, in the soil of your mind and the soil of your heart. And so you have to take every one of those thoughts captive and give it to the Lord. Right. But when you also go through divorce, sometimes you feel unlovable. Like, for example, who wants a single woman with 4 kids? You feel unlovable. Am I unlovable? Will somebody want, especially now because I'm so heavily involved in politics. Yeah. I feel like I am unhireable at this point.
One Google search and you're like, the
SPLC determined her a domestic terrorist because she ran for school board and didn't want sex taught to children. Like that, you know what I mean? So like it's just a little, you're concerned
but
when you're out there dating.
Somebody will come along that's like
100%, 100%. And then you're like, wait, hold on, is this real? Like, can I really hold on to this? But it's hard because those are realities, and you feminism didn't just ruin women, it ruined men as well. So men, it's hard for even men, I think, to find women that will allow them to provide, will allow them to support them in all of the ways. And when we say support, we're not talking about just finances. We're not talking about just, you know, I support you, babe. Yeah, go. Like, we're talking about like actual, like, in it with me. I want you in it with me. Pray for me, pray over me, pray with me, pray during the situation. Like, how are we able to build this together? That's what support is. And I remember Tyrese, if you guys don't know, he's a very famous R&B artist in like R&B and hip hop. And he was doing an interview. It was like kind of like this, like a podcast, like a roundtable with 4 men. And they were talking about wives and how everybody wants to get married, or these young girls want to get married. But he's like, do y'all even know what that even means? Because when I feel like the weight of the world is on my shoulders, there's nothing better than having my woman pray over me, the words that she's feeding into me when I feel like I can't continue. He's like, that dress you got on is not going to help me. Your cleavage is not helping me in this situation. So do you have the character of a wife? And that's Proverbs 31, right? But in order for you to be, to have that kind of woman, you have to show up as that man first to be able to host a woman like that, to care for a woman like that. So, and I think this is the same for women. And so it is not impossible for you to be a boss babe, right? And do what you do and find love. I mean, look at Caroline Levitt.
Yeah.
Look at Pete Hegseth.
Maybe our lives will be a living
Trump
example. And look at,
I mean, let's be real.
And you know what? I've been hearing grumblings like from men too, that sometimes there's nothing sexier than watching a woman go get what she wants. And that's like more of that energy. That's, I said it.
And it's, yes. And there's nothing sexier than a man watching your man go get what he wants, right?
Yes. And cheering him on. And I think that, so all of you ladies out there that realize, first of all, it's okay to come to the realization that you're a wife. You're a wife quality.
And not everybody.
And that dating, that's why dating feels a little weird. It's okay to treat it like that. Guys, we are all out of time with Out of Pocket.
I know.
Thank you for curling up on our couches and for warming up your coffee and being real and raw with us today. Of course, tomorrow is Friday. We'll be back here 10 a.m. Eastern with more Out of Pocket, just as out of pocket as ever. So.
One last thing I want to leave y'all with is ladies and gentlemen, do not fear. There is love out there, and you can have it all, because we serve a good God, and God is the creator of all things, and it's his anyway.
Oh, I love that.
In his kingdom, there are many rooms. So go after it.
I love it. Thank you, Allie, for that. This is why she's my bestie. This is why she's my sis.
We love you guys so much. Thanks for joining. We'll catch you guys on the flip side. Stay out of pocket. Keep that mic open.
Two queens, no filter. Say what they feel. Allie and Michelle keep it way too real.